Hello friends. It is said that the 2021 preliminary examination was a tough question paper, or UPSC has evolved prior to 2010 how it was, and they have become factual. It has become state public service commission. All these things were said, and so many memes were there. But UPSC, if you ask me, I'll say that UPSC has evolved more. UPSC has now come to a stage where they think about only these logical questions. They are not even considering the fact that we need this very costly material. No, they are going, their question papers are directing everyone into a state where you don't need this costly material, you don't need this current affair material. You just have to read this static portion, you just have to read this books which are available to everyone and accessible to everyone, and you should apply your logic that comes by reading newspaper. And when you are able to do this, you will be able to solve this question paper, is what UPSC is meaning. Rather than evolving see, evolution does not happen backwards, evolution happens forwards. UPSC is evolving more to a logical examination, and that is what we should do. We should think about clearing this examination using these logics rather than this costly material or this complex material of this monthly current affairs and things like that. In this video, I will show you the questions. So how do you say that? You can ask me, how do I arrive at this conclusion? Means I am using the same question paper. I will solve the 2021 question paper. I will take questions from there and I will show you that these questions, nearly 35 questions are there. From 100 questions, 35. We concentrate, that is the point. In order for you to make you panic, I can pick out points from the question paper and complex question and make you panic. Rather than we can use the questions which are logical to understand this examination, and that is what I am going to do in this video. And this video will be done in English and Tamil both. Will not anyone who wants to watch in English, they can watch, and anyone who wants to watch in Tamil also, they can watch. Two versions of the videos are there. I'll upload them one by one, and you by the end of the video you will understand reading standard books and newspaper are more than essential for clearing this examination. So let us go into the video. So has preliminary examination become a game of luck or chance? Or as people said that it has become a game of factual examination, or pre 2000, somebody said that it is pre 2010 type of question paper. But I beg to differ on all those views, because I think that UPSC is evolving in a manner that it is more logical now, or they are thinking about things which are essential for the examination, or very simple things that they are using for this examination, instead of the complex books and materials that we actually accumulate. So they are making this examination accessible to all. And how, if you ask me, if you think about it, we need to score 50 net. We have repeatedly said that 100 questions are not essential for clearing this examination. All we need is 50 net. 50 net means into 2, it's 100 marks. So if we have to accomplish this or clear this preliminary examination, we need 100. And I will show in this video 34 questions. So that is 30 to 33 or 34 questions nearly, which are very logical, which can be answered using the basic books. See, not, you don't have to have complex material and things, current affairs, and nothing is necessary for solving these questions. They are very logical, simple questions that they have asked, and that is what I'm going to show you. And 34 questions I'm going to show. And if you think about it, 50, we need 50, but in the 34, already 34 are there. So in the rest, so 2/3 of the questions are left in the question paper. From that 2/3, you need another 15 questions or 16 questions. So this is the point of this is how we should think about clearing this examination. We should not think about some complicated question that has been asked and break our heads and think that this examination has become pre 2010 2010, or it has become factual, nothing like that. We have to understand that clearing preliminary examination should be the motive. It should not be anything else. And my name is Sivarajarajendran. With that information, we will go into the video. So the first question, look at this question, or these are the questions. So there were some four questions which were related to sports, and these were the questions which were given as example for saying that it has become like 2010. See, UPSC will always in every question paper, be it in mains or whichever question paper you go, UPSC makes this initial unsettling. There is an unsettling question. That means that they will give a question that is like a twist, so that we become unsettled, and they think that or they see how you perform under that pressure. And these are questions like that. These are questions which are you need not attend at all. These are questions you need not attend, and you can easily leave them, and you can just think about the other questions which are logical. I'll show you the 34 logical questions that could be attended instead of these things. See, this question, basically understanding the logic is important in UPSC rather than understanding the complex fact. So for this, you need not know RBI Act, Banking Act. No, you don't have to go very deep into that. You just have to know one small thing that you have read in Lakshmikant, or you should have read the simple things in Lakshmikant. When you have read that, you would understand that there is no such provision. So there is no such provision in Constitution saying that the government can give directions to RBI. No, there is no provision in Constitution. So removing this one fact will give you the answer. So we should approach this examination as a logical examination where we derive answer from the things that we know. We should not think about the things that we do not know. That we can inside the hall you can do nothing. Derive answers from things which you know. Lakshmikant, everyone knows. From that, derive the answer. Same way, economic recession. This is a very simple. In economics, I keep repeating this. Approach economics as if it is a very in layman's term, or very simple logic you should use. Economic recession is a fact where the economic value or money in the economy is going down. So we have to increase money. Increasing money supply, if you check all these things, cutting in tax rate but increasing interest rate. See, interest rate, if it increases, how would I borrow money and invest in the economy? I will not do that. Same way, increasing tax rate, if tax rate is increased, my spendable amount is decreased. Same way, reduction in expenditure, no, it's actually increase in expenditure. This is called as the Keynesian, so Keynes, or when the US, or in 1933, this was a mains question as well. 1933, there was a recession in USA, and it was given as this this was the factor they used for reviving the economy in 1933 stock market crash. You can check that. It can be used in mains as well. So increasing public expenditure. Next is this. See, this is again, you check this in a very layman's term. There is a product. That product, what they are asking is, how would that product increase in demand? Increasing in demand of a product, if you check it, a good is of inferior quality. Okay, income of, see, when you are having a higher income, you just think about, when you are having a higher income, whether we will think about, or whether we will have higher demand for a good whose quality has become depreciated. No, we will think about having a good product. Because our consumers, the income that you hold in your hand has increased, so you will go for, so you will not think about a normal car, you will think about a higher version of a car. Or you think about chocolates, small, when you don't have that much money, you will go for small chocolates. But when we go for you have higher spending money, you will think about higher versions of chocolate. Simple. So demand of higher versions of chocolate will increase. So this statement is wrong. When you remove this statement, look at this point. UPSC does this. This is what UPSC is. UPSC is about logic. It's not about facts. So now this is urban cooperative banks, and this came in current affairs Jan to March 2020. This kept coming in paper that There was an amendment. See, there was an amendment which made the supervision by RBI the point. So it is not local self-government. This, if you remove, see, remove this, remove this, remove this, answer is this. And this is the point. This kept coming. See, you need not, see, I kept saying that you need not worry about these facts and all, because you derive answer from logical things instead of the facts. That, see, breaking the head with all these statements is easier. I can you can break your head and you can search for answers for so many days. But what we should do is understanding the logic and context, and this is where reading newspaper helps. This is where, for example, the difference between newspaper and your material or current affairs material is that in current affairs material you need to mug up all these facts. You need to know all these facts. In paper, this context is explained. In paper, what they concentrate is the context. Why this has been changed? Why earlier there was a dual government or dual regulation kind of thing where RBI and state government was involved, but why this amendment was involved? And this context is what in comes in newspaper. But in material, all the facts related to everything will be there. So it is up to you to choose which source you would like to use for clearing this examination. So now, and another point, bond yield. See, UPSC does this only. UPSC is not asking whether bond yield is increasing. This is a tough thing. Or to understand bond yield increasing or decreasing, it is a kind of a tough thing. But they are saying which is influencing. Bond yield will be influenced by money supply. This is the one thing that you should know. So for a demand for anything, you think about it, bond yield or land or something like that, whatever you buy, the demand for that increases with money supply. And if you go check all these three answers, all three influence money supply, and in turn, hence they influence bond yield. This is what is the answer, and this is what you should look for instead of complicated answer. Again, one more thing is devaluation. This is already a previous year question. Devaluation has been asked so many times. Understanding the context is very essential. You just think about it. $1 50 rupees, devaluation means $1 100 rupees. So you just think, increases the foreign value of domestic currency. Actually, it is depreciating, or the value of your currency is depreciating. So that you should remove. 2, if you remove, look at this point, 3 and 1 is left, and it improves trade balance. See, when the currency depreciates, it is about import. So export minus import is your trade balance. Your export increases. If you think about it, your competitiveness of your domestic export increases, but at the same time import also will become costly. And when you do that, a trade balance, it does not improve the status, or it is not a certain statement. This is the statement you should look. So one is correct and one only is the answer. And the black money in India, and this in Shivaji movie you would have seen. See, the prime motive of black money, or the problem of black money is it does not give revenue to the state. It is a diversion of state taxes towards something else. These are all diversions. These are all diversions, but the aim or the source is the tax evasion. Only after tax evasion you can divert the money to here, and hence this is the answer. D is the answer. And the most inflationary, this is also a previous year question. Repeated question, not one, repeated question. So if there is a deficit, you think about it, your income is there, expenditure is there. This deficit is increased, or it is most inflationarily increased when you are financing it with new printed money. See, borrowing, repayment, all these are already present, and the money which is present, you are using it. But this new creation of money is the most inflationary. You are printing something out of the blue, and hence this is the answer. And the same way you look at this point, money multiplier. All these things you should look at it as a simple layman's term. When does the money increase in your economy? When does it increase means you just think about it. Increasing the banking habit. See, when you are giving it to the banks, they will lend it, and they will lend it, invest it, so many things, and hence it is increasing. This is where this point should be. You should not think about M1, M2, M0, something like that. No, don't think on those lines. Simply understand And the same way, increase in population is not going to matter, because see, not matter, it is a very important thing, but at the end of the day, how money multiplies is the increasing banking supply, and that is why we have this Jandan Yojana. And this is why, this is the point. All these things, reading paper, you understand this context. So Jandan Yojana, you will understand why it was so. Paper, they cover this only. And R2 code of practices, if you think about it, environmentally responsible in electronics recycling. See, this wetlands Ramsar, it is about Montreal's protocol, sustainable development. See, environment, no. This is the point which is creating a problem right now. Our digital economy is increasing and world over, and hence recycling of this electronic goods is a very important, or the problematic point which is happening. And hence there is a extended producer responsibility. In 2019, I think they asked extended producer responsibility. This has been included for recycling of this electronics good. But R2 code of practices, this is not guess. If you think about it, you should not imagine that these are guessing. No, these are logical conclusions. These are logical conclusions based on your supposed reading of all these things, and you make an assessment, and intuition says that this could be the answer. A is the answer. Blue carbon, again, this is also a logical answer. See, anything related to blue, how do you name something? You name something related to the product, or related to something. It should be related, you know. See, you don't name something just out of the blue. See, out of the blue, again, sky. So if you are saying the word means, it is meaning of sky, out of the blue. Something comes out of the sky, that is the meaning of that phrase, out of the blue. But the blue carbon, so see, oceans, this is the point. Oceans or coastal ecosystems is the answer, and that is how you should derive answer and logically think. And this is already a question. So, which does not grow in soil? And there was already a question in 2013 previous year question paper. If you check, they asked what is lichen, which is growing without soil, and hence you should know 2 is an answer. Already UPSC has given this answer, and there was a confusion whether this one and mushroom and everything is there. See, why one and mushroom and things like that are not considered is that 2 is present here only. See, out of the answers which are given, this is the most appropriate. That should be your point. You should not think, see, mushroom can, anything can be in environment, everything is possible. But UPSC has already given this in 2013 that lichens is there, and moss, if it is there or not, it is your judgment call, and moss is also there. C is the answer. And here, if you think about it, detrivorous, if you think, it is the final leg, last leg of food chain. There is a food chain which is there in our environment, and in that they are supposedly the last leg. And but here you look at it, seahorse are not in the final stages of the food chain. They don't eat the remains. No, seahorses do not do that. And hence, if you remove this, look at this point, this is the answer. This is the logic I keep talking about. Think about this exam in a very logical fashion instead of thinking about all these facts and things. And this Yogini temple, this came in newspaper repeatedly because it was our parliament is modeled based on that. See, parliament, when it is modeled based on fourth statement, they have already given, and it is the only circular temple. See, we ourselves would have gone to so many temples in your villages and things like that, which were circle. You know, I have gone to temples which were circle. So if you think about it, remove this, remove this, remove this, answer is C. So this is what you should know. Reading paper, you will understand fourth statement is correct, and by logic you will know that there are so many circular temples in India. This is the point you should think in preliminary examination. And this is Dolvaria, and if you think about it, I think in 2020 end or 2021 starting, it was made as an UNESCO site, and our Prime Minister Modi had tweeted, and he went to that place, and he had given this statement as the description of Dolavira. So, and it is in Wikipedia also. This is how you derive answers. Logic again. A is the answer. And 8th August 1942, it's a very simple, straightforward question from Modern India Spectrum book. This you should have read Modern India Spectrum. See, instead of reading so many materials, so many current affairs from this month, that month, if you read Modern India Spectrum, I will show you two questions that you could have easily answered. And this you should know, it's very simple. 1942 is the time when that Quit India movement. See, logic picture you should, if you have also, you will know that this is wrong. Congress ministry, it was 1937 or 30s something. Same way, see, this is the logic that you should use, and this was not in, see, any way concerned here. Maybe A or D, something like that. But Quit India movement, you should know, in Modern India Spectrum, 8th August happens to be very significant date. 1942 significant. This is a very clear significant date that you should have known in history while reading. Okay, A is the answer. And this colonial India, Shah Nawaz Khan, Prem Kumar Sehgal, Gurbaksh. See, this is something related again. See, it's Modern India Spectrum, Indian National Army. So these people were actually, this became a very big issue. Jawaharlal Nehru and many other, Sapru and many other advocates had appeared for these people, because this also was one of the most important factor for falling of the British government. The trial which happened about these three people became a national issue, and people started to think that why freedom fighters, they were thought as freedom fighters. So Indian National Army, so army made by Subhash Chandra Bose, it was a freedom fighting that was happening, and that is the thought that happened, and Britishers were not able to control the movement which was happening. And hence this is a very straightforward, simple thing from your book. And same again, Ajanta caves, this is an answer. Which of the following is correct? Ajanta caves, this you should have read. Ajanta Ellora, you should have read, and you should have known the description. It is there in this. There is a river, and the picture also, if you see, it will turn, and it's a very important question. That's this you should have known. Okay, and water guzzling, which is the least water efficient? That means which is the most water consuming crop? This, all these things, millet, red gram, see, all these things are not that much water consuming. You will know that sugarcane crop is the most water consuming. And this is a very straightforward question. A is the answer. And this, what is this black cotton soil in India? And you would have known the story that Laurasia Gondwana, what is that, our continent or the subcontinent, it moved across from this Gondwana land, and it has smashed into this Eurasian plate, as a result of which Himalayas came. But at the time of 65 million years and to 50 million years, there was huge volcanoes here. Huge volcanoes or volcano eruption. So the plateau in which so we are sitting, so Tamil Nadu, Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, this plateau which we called as the Deccan Plateau, this Deccan Plateau, here full volcano. The whole thing was slushed with volcano, and as a result of which, if you think about it, this volcanic rock and their exposure and their weathering resulted in black cotton soil, and hence you have this black cotton soil in this Deccan area. And this is what this is, and this is an history, but it is a very simple fact in NCERT. You will know when you have read black cotton soil. It's a very simple question. And this ball guard and ball guard 2, the BT cotton, every time this question has come, BT cotton, Bacillus thuringiensis cotton, or the techniques related to it, why it is used, what is the importance, everything they have kept asking. And if you think about it, ball guard and ball guard 1 is the technical name of BT cotton, where nothing else. It is the marketing name, ball guard and ball guard 2. So developing, this is B is the answer. And this adenovirus, you see, every time this question comes, virus is single strand. And if you think about it, see, you can say that viruses are double strand also. Yes, there are some viruses, few viruses, but most in UPSC go for the most, which is the most appropriate. They will ask like that only, which is the most appropriate. So most appropriate viruses are not viruses are single stranded, and definitely retrovirus, which is the one of the AIDS virus is retrovirus. which is a repeated question. It is not a double standard, it's single standard, and hence because of being that single standard, it is very uncertain, and that is why we are not able to get this vaccine and all. So but now there is a vaccine, or they are thinking about making a vaccine. So look at that also. There is a current event which is happening, but this is wrong. So, and the common cold is adenovirus. This is true. And this adenovirus, how you would know, means there was a mRNA vaccine. So many vaccines were there. There were Sputnik vaccine. Many vaccines were there. Names Moderna, many other vaccines. In one of the vaccine, if you think about it, adenovirus was used as one host to get this what is that protein of this coronavirus into your cell, or part of a protein. This was used as a carrier, not as, sorry, as a host. Sorry, carrier. It was used as a carrier for taking that part of that coronavirus into the cell, so that it can be used or for producing the antibodies in your body. And this kept coming in the news. This is the point. Reading newspaper, Sunday newspaper, you don't have to go anywhere else to know all these things. Understanding basics is important. ACE2, again, Sunday newspaper, Sunday in Hindu newspaper, in this column of science and technology, this is the site where your coronavirus attaches itself. This is where pictures were given, clear pictures were given. This is the site it attaches, and it enters your body and cell. This is the point of entry, and hence D is the answer. So, and astronomical distances are measured in light years. See, if you are not able to answer all these questions, go to the answers for answering the question. In a sense, see, this is not true. This statement is wrong. Distances amongst the does not, universe always expands. There was already a question in 2018. There was a question of universal expansion, and today, and this was given by Einstein. And Einstein also gave this relativity theory, and he also gave this fact that speed of light is always the same, and that is how this theory of relativity was done. And but he also said that this stellar body, he did not say, his theory said that the bodies are always moving, universe is expanding, and today happens to be the birthday of Einstein, and hence if you think about it, this is how you solve. So, and this is also wrong. Gravity is dependent on weight, and hence it is, so larger weight and it will have higher gravity and things. So D is the answer. And right to privacy is a very simple Article 21 question. Right to life. Already there was a question of right to marry. There was a question in 2020, sorry, 2019, I think. Right to marry comes under which article? Article 21, right to life. It's a very straightforward, not no twist question at all. 21. And again, the right to this Forest Rights Act. Forest Rights Act, you will know that it is for the tribal people living in tribal areas, and hence it comes under Ministry of Tribal Affairs. Though twisted question and all. And a legislation which covers this or unguided, uncontrolled discretionary power. This is the point. Violates Article 14, because Article 14, equality before law. Equality. See, when you are giving discretion, then that means you are violating this principle of equality. So simple A. So that is the point. Which is the most essential feature of federal character? Again, Lakshmikant, if you have read, it gives very clearly independence of judiciary is very important for you will know that if you have read that chapter, you will know the federal features. So the features important for federalism in India, one of the features is independence of judiciary. And this statement was in citizenship chapter. So again, if you think about it, it is in citizenship chapter, Lakshmikant. This is not true. So this is true in USA. The constitution. So there is a GS paper 2 constitutional comparison. In that, if you have read, or in that you would have known that USA, it is a very big issue, and the people who have not born there, so born, they cannot become the head. But India, by naturalization, by registration, you can become the citizen of India, and it is true that you can become the head of the state. So this is not true. This is also not true. Cannot be deprived. See, this is, there are circumstances, you can go check. There are termination. There are circumstances under which your citizenship granted to foreigners can be terminated. Citizenship chapter, very basic chapter. This is wrong. This is wrong. Answer is this. A is the answer. And which is the most important or best safeguard? So this is the point. Best safeguard You can say A or D. So, but these two are not true. See, centralization of power is actually detrimental to liberty. This is to safeguard liberty. This is opposite to liberty. So, this is wrong. Elected government need not be in Pakistan. Also, elected government is there, but whether liberty is there is a question. So, these two are wrong. But committed judiciary, separation of powers, you can have confusion, but answer is D. But this is a very straightforward question. Concentration of wealth violates. This is a repeated question. There is an article also in DPSP. You can go check it. Article 38, which supposedly makes this equality or primary factor, or this income equality reduction becomes the most important factor. I think 38 or 37. Please do check it. Check the article. The wording itself is there. So concentration of wealth is violating this DPSP. And this right to property, again 300A. It was 300A, and earlier it was in the constitution, which supposedly was in fundamental rights, and it was taken away or taken and put as legal right available to citizen only. No, it is available to any person. Because why? Because FDI we need. Simple logic is that people from outside also come and invest in lands in India. They buy companies, and if you are not providing them this legal right of property, it is a very problematic thing. But it is a legal right. You go to the court. If land is confiscated, you have to go and fight it out in the court, not a fundamental right. And court means not directly to Supreme Court. You have to go through the normal legal process. And what is this constitutional government? Very simple. Constitutional. Why there is a constitution? In the words of Dr. Ambedkar, constitution is the rein, or rein means holding the horse. You will know, you have to rein in the horse. Same way, this provision of this constitution and all, political science or political science option, they will know there is a thing called as Leviathan, or it was given by this the contract thinkers, or social contract thinkers. It was given. Leviathan is a huge monstrous government which unfettered power. So earlier it was unfettered power, but now it is a limited government. So constitution performs that. That is the point that Dr. Ambedkar says. It's a reign. Okay, so the constitution is a limited government. Again, so you need not know the other two, but ho you will know. See, Bill in geography NCRT, Bill, ho, Munda, Santal, and this and all Central India tribes. So Central India tribes, you will know this. It's very simple, and if you have known this, you will understand that is a tribal language. This is geography NCRT. No big thing for all these things. And if you think about it, so I have shown 30 to 35 questions. So nearly 34 questions I have shown. So exact figure is 34 questions. There are so many other questions related to FDI and this demand pull inflation, palm oil. Very simple question. Palm oil and all. There is a question which states that it is originated in this Southeast Asia, but it is a species from Africa. The one fact, if you knew that you in GC Gliong, it is there. In GC Gliong, that fact is there. They were brought by colonializers into the Southeast Asia. Simple. Dutch and Portuguese, they brought it to Southeast Asia. But anyway, so what I wanted to say was, it is this examination is not about this logic. This examination is not about luck. This examination is about this examination is about logic. It is not about luck. It's not a fact based. It is not a it is not that UPSC has gone back. No, evolution happens in the front. So you please check this fact, and you start preparing accordingly. We should prepare for what is necessary. We go behind so many materials, so many current affairs things, and we lose track of what is essential. There are 35 questions here which you would get from standard books. Standard books and reading paper. See, standard. This is why I suggest reading newspaper, not material. Reading newspaper and your standard books will give you this 35 questions. You just need extra 50 questions from 2/3. That is 66 questions. From 66 questions, you need 15 questions. This you can do. This is the work of an officer. This is where your mental acumen and mental stamina comes, and on the day you will get this 15 questions and you will clear this preliminary examination. So thank you for watching this video, and there is also a Minds of Aspirant Telegram channel. You can click and get into the channel, and you can ask me any doubts related to prelims and mains and whatever related to UPSC examination, you can ask. Please subscribe to that channel as well, and like this video, share this video, and subscribe to Minds of Aspirant channel. Thank you for watching. All the best.